Hi, I'm Calum Waddell. I am here at the house of Mr. Elliot Silverstein, and we are about to watch the classic B movie from the 70s, although it was a big studio movie, so not a B movie, The Car. So over to you, Mr. Silverstein.
This statement by Anton LaVey from what I think was called the Devil's Bible that he wrote was a post-production decision I made in order to try to add some framework of evil to the film as a whole. I am surprised that there has been some kind of a following for The Car in kind of cult circles, because it always seemed to me to be structured as a series of almost soap opera-like segments. And the car was manufactured by Barris Company, and I wanted it to look like a kind of an evil fullback with narrow windows and somewhat colored so that you couldn't see into it, so that we could create the impression that it was a phantom. It was built here in Hollywood.
And where is this?
Where? This was, I think this is in Utah.
Did you like being in Utah?
Very beautiful country. Very beautiful country. You'll see in a moment the car appears out of its own environment, and in a way that I hope aroused some curiosity as to what is coming at us. It involved getting special dust on a road so that you could see the evidence of the car's approach.
This is a very evocative shot. It sets up the desert atmosphere.
Well, atmosphere was the problem because, as I said earlier, this was somewhat difficult because of the requirement that it be shot in the bright sunlight of the desert.
Ah, here we see the car.
You see something coming there, and that red dust that was spread, just tons of it, all over the roadway. And by the way, when you hear the horn, da, 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 in Morse code, that is the letter X.
Ah. And here we see the first two victims.
Yes, this was shot in a national park. I've forgotten what park it was. I think it was Zion National Park.
It's another great location. Very, very nice location.
The stunt involved in what is coming up was the second to last stunt made by the stuntman who performed it. He was eager to perform the highest fall in his community, and he did it in this case. And then in trying the next one to outdo himself, he was killed.
Really? Oh, that's kind of brought the audio commentary down a bit.
It'll be coming up in a moment.
Sure. I mean, how do you react to that as a director when that happens?
Well, after the film was over, when he did another film and was killed doing it.
Yeah, I mean, how would a director, react to that on the set? I mean, would the production be shut down for a while, or?
Well, I had nothing to do with that film.
Oh yeah, of course, I know that, but I'm just asking in general, if a stunt goes wrong, does the director shut down the set?
With the director, what, please?
Would the film stop shooting for a while?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Not for a while. This amber color is probably the point of view through the windows of the car, which is why it is colored that way.
This is, I mean, you said earlier that when we filmed you spoke about Jaws.
You see, excuse me for interrupting, I wanted to...
Oh, sure, go ahead, please.
Another example of trying to establish some kind of tension by approaching this opening and gradually seeing the car come out of it.
I was saying that this is a bit like Jaws. Jaws opens with young people obviously being killed by the shark. I mean, was this...
No, it was not conscious.
It wasn't conscious?
No, not in my mind, no.
How did you create this effect as we look
Put a
through
camera inside the car just behind the windshield.
Yeah, but and then just making it. I mean, how did you decide how it was going to look? You know, like look red, look yellowy. I mean, how did you decide? How did you decide on the look of this that this would, you know, look ominous?
Well, it's the color clearly is not normal.
Yeah.
And the change in color clearly means something is odd about the viewpoint, the point of view from inside the car.
And did you know that this was going to be a PG?
I knew nothing about the ratings at the time.
Okay. It's just it's not a very gory film. It's not very violent. You know, I'd say even Jaws is maybe more violent than the car. But this is a good opening shot, scene, a good opening sequence. You know, it creates fear, I think. Allows us to see that this is
Also, the car has an evil sense of humor, as you can see.
Yeah.
It attacks it a couple of times just to torture him. Now, this is the stunt I was talking about. This was, at that time, the highest one ever made.
Wow.
And free fall. And then when the stuntman tried to outdo himself on the next film he did,
he passed away.
He passed away. He was killed.
And that's our introduction to the evil of this film. And here's James Brolin.
Right.
Was he a good actor to work with?
He was fine. They all were. They all were very helpful. That's not always the case, but they were.
Now, was James Brolin? He wasn't a big star at this time. He was well known, but he wasn't, you know, somebody that would be considered a superstar, for example. Is that correct?
Well, I guess so. I don't know how you divide the categories, but I think I know what you mean, and I think so. Yes.
This was just before he did the Amityville Horror, which was
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was a very successful horror film that came after the car. Did you enjoy working? I mean, I know you had your problems, but you know, was the budget that you got for this film, was it sufficient to do what you wanted to do?
Well, the budget was not a problem. The location and the requirement for that location was a problem. Well, the budget, of course, would have been higher if it had been shot at night. So we just did the best we could.
Do you think it would be a much better? You believe it would be a much better film if you shot it at night? That's, you know, that's.
Well, you have to start with the story first. If the story holds up, it can be, this kind of story holds up. It would be better shot in an environment which was dark and mysterious.
Yeah.
And rather than in the bright sunshine of the desert.
This was not your first horror film, was it? You did do a horror film, The Honeymoon Murders?
No, but I think people may consider some other films I've done as horror films, although I don't.
Can you name some names?
No, I'd rather not do that.
You're very modest. Now, who was this actress? Can you speak about what
Susan Lloyd.
Susan Lloyd, that's right. Now, she never quite went on to become a big star or anything, but she's very good in this film.
Yes, she was a good actress.
Yeah.
And very, very easy to work with. I imagine if the film had been a bigger commercial hit at the time, that would have benefited all the actors.
And they say you should never work with children, but here you are working with children.
Who said I never work with children?
Is that not a famous thing? You should never work with children? A director should never work with animals or children?
Oh, somebody else said that, not me.
Okay.
I love it.
Well, right now we're working with animals. I need to explain that we've got your dog next to us. we're recording this, and if I move a little bit too far to the left, it's going to attack me.
I see they were having fun doing this, and they seemed quite easy with each other.
So I mean, as far as the actors went, this was a good shoot for you. You liked your cast. You enjoyed your cast.
I did like them. They worked very hard to make things interesting, because we only had these segments of the car's adventure, and then we had some lighthearted sequences like this that we tried to make buoyant, to keep the interest going.
Sure. It's a very interesting location to set a horror film. I mean, you touched on this a little bit, but you touched on this a little bit. It's an interesting location to set a horror film because, you know, I've read some reviews of the car, you know, to research this commentary, and some people have questioned why a satanic car would choose a little American desert town to, you know, extol its vengeance.
Yes, well, as I explained, that was one of the requirements, the basic requirements from the company. Jaws on land.
Jaws on land, sure. Now, did you choose to film this in full widescreen in 235?
I don't recall. Whatever. There were no specific instructions given to me with regard to that.
Yes. It's just Jaws was also, again, it was shot as a widescreen film. So I'm wondering if Universal were, as the Jaws on land thing progressed, kind of, you know, asking you to even make it look quite similar. John Rubinstein?
John Rubinstein.
Yeah.
He was the son of Arthur Rubinstein.
Okay. He says he had a wonderful time filming with you.
He was a good guy.
I'm gonna call the police.
The police?
I swear.
You'll call the police, will you?
You've been messing around with that barmaid all night, I know.
I'm gonna come over.
I think, I do think you get some very nice shots from this film, the way you framed it.
Well, thank you.
You know, I mean, looking at it now, is it? Do you have some pride in it? Are you proud in any way of the film that you have made? I know you have your disagreements with it, but
Well, I'm still here. I'm proud of that.
yeah, well, that's one good thing. When you're working for Universal and, you know, you're making a genre picture and they're saying it's got to be Jaws on land, does it limit what you can do with the film in terms of maybe wanting to put in some social commentary or anything?
I didn't try to do that. It was all built in initially.
Sure.
That road, by the way, again, had to be seeded with that red dust for what is coming up.
Did that take a long time to do?
No, not particularly.
How many, in general, when you were filming a scene where the car would have to attack somebody, you know, how long would that take if it was one of the important set pieces of the film? You know, did that, if it was an important moment, you know, you had to establish, like the bit we saw with the two people getting killed by the car, you know, did you have to spend a lot of time to make that right because there were the challenges of filming the car and filming the stunt?
Well, I'm not exactly sure what you mean. Could you simplify that question for me?
I'll try my best.
Okay.
Does it, you know, did it take you long? Does it take you a long time, you know, to film one of the important scenes, what they would call the money shots of the film, the stunts, the car chasing somebody? I mean, what was the setup like on this film?
Yes,
like,
because
here we see
the car was built, it was a very heavy car, and not easy to control.
He's gonna stop.
So, I mean, for example, this scene here, we see the car coming from a long distance. You say that you've put, you know, red dust over the road. We now have to film this gentleman's death scene. When it was an important scene like this, because this is the sort of scene that sells the film, you know, did Universal give you extra time to lay it out?
No, they don't usually get into it to that degree. You lay out the schedule according to the budget that has been approved, and you try to shoot within that budget.
Mm-hmm. So did
Now,
that...
here's another example, by the way, of trying to make some kind of suspense out of a brightly lit environment, and you'll see in a moment.
Hang up yours with a splintered fiddle, you son of a bitch!
Well, so I mean, it's a difficult thing to do.
You know, what did I have to work with here? A car, sunlight, and a guy, and a lot of dust.
So that's hard. That's a hard thing to...
Well, it's... You know, what is the car going to do? What is it going to do? Why is it stopped?
You use a dust like mist, I suppose, which is a...
No, just effective cinematically, I think.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it could almost be like the mist of an old Gothic horror film. You know, you're creating the car coming out of the dust, the way that a ghost would come out of the mist, for example.
Well, you see, a number of times the car comes out of a blanket of some kind, whether it was the tunnel, or whether it was the desert, or whether it was this roadway. I tried as much to cover up the sunshine as I could.
Oh, and there it goes away. And again, another very nice shot of this landscape.
Oh, it's a beautiful country.
Utah?
Yes.
You'd
It is
recommend...
St. George, Utah.
You'd recommend people go there?
Pardon me?
You would recommend people visit Utah?
Oh, sure. Oh, sure.
If oh, here we go, James rolling the motorcycle. I was going to say Utah, also famous for its Mormons and Salt Lake City, so many things to see.
Deborah.
Why don't you let Miss Humphreys live with us? Just until Mom comes back, you know.
That's not the way it works.
I think it is.
Now,
No, I loved working with these two little kids.
they were easy to work with.
They were fun, yes.
And where was this location? Is this all in Utah, even
I
this house?
believe it was. I don't have a specific recollection of it, but I believe it was all shot in Utah.
Do you remember how long you shot for this?
I do not.
Think if I married Lauren.
Probably close to 38, 40 days or something like that.
That's. I mean, would that be considered quite a long shoot?
No,
No?
not particularly.
Were you aware of a film called Jewel, the Steven Spielberg film Jewel?
Jewel, oh yes. Jewel came before this.
Yes. Did you like it?
Oh yes.
And were you influenced by it?
Well, I suppose there's been some kind of comparison, as much as nobody knew who was driving the truck.
Yes, that's right.
And nobody knows who's driving the car.
Okay.
Did you see the car as just being possessed, or did you? Because it's very ambivalent. We don't know if somebody's actually driving the car, for example. I mean,
Yes.
what was your take on that?
Well, again, the problem goes back to mystery, to questions asked but unanswered. If we put a human being in the car, that ends that. It's just a murderous human being. If we had some kind of monster in the car, then, all right, that answers that question. So I thought it was better to keep questions going rather than provide answers.
Mm-hmm. And there's Ronnie Cox from Deliverance.
Ronnie Cox, and on his left, John Marley.
Mm-hmm. Had you seen Deliverance?
Had I seen Deliverance?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
You like it?
Oh, very much.
Station wagon, hardtop, two-door.
I mean, I think that some of the best American horror films, and you might disagree, and you may say that Deliverance isn't a horror film, but I think some of the best American horror films take place in the wilderness, you know? And Deliverance takes place in the wilderness, and in a way, I mean, although it's a desert setting, this is still a wilderness. This is still, having a bunch of people in a very difficult to reach area, you know?
Damn it, I don't know.
What do you mean?
It's interesting if you were to visualize some of these sequences at night or in the moonlight,
Mm-hmm.
with the same dialogue, the same setting, the same staging, the same shots. would there have been in the minds of those who view it a somewhat more frightening environment?
I would say yes. I would say it would be more frightening.
Sling the net. We've got a
But on the other hand, maybe what makes this film so well remembered is that it works against expectations. You know, I mean, maybe you wouldn't have the cult following that you now have.
Perhaps. You never know the answers to those questions.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you play a film to the rules, sometimes it just gets forgotten. I mean, look at how many films now come out in cinemas and they have big name stars and they're forgotten about. But here we are speaking about this.
Well, of course, I'm very pleased that you think it's worthy of a second look.
Oh yeah.
But it's often true that people that make the films don't really have an idea of the film's impact at all. That's not always true, but sometimes it's true.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would agree with that, but I think that I think because this film is shot in broad daylight and it's quite crazy and it works against what, you know, the other films of the time were doing in the horror genre. It's become, you know, well remembered because it's not typical, and maybe, you know, that has something to do with your skill as a director, that you were given maybe a luckless challenge, you know, and everything you argued for was correct, but nevertheless you were given this almost impossible challenge to make something ridiculous seem scary, to present fear in an unlikely environment. But by making a very well shot film, a very professionally made film, a very well cast film, you know, you've made something that endures.
Well, aren't you nice?
So, you know, maybe that's a testament to yourself, because you also produced this film, of course.
Well, the producer that was attached to it was taken from the film and reassigned to a television series before we began shooting. So I lost a valuable right arm when I lost him. So Marvin Burt, who was a colleague, and I kind of did the best we could to fill in.
Up. Come on, over here. Right here.
I mean, this is all, I like the colors of this film as well, you know.
Well, you see, but look at the colors here, and then the contrast that would have made if everything else had been darkness and threats.
Yeah.
And then the contrast with this kind of bright, sunlit environment would have been dramatic.
Yeah, well, it's a good point, you know. Now, tell me, Mr. Silverstein, did you ever see the Quentin Tarantino film Death Proof? It was part of a double bill he did called Grindhouse.
I don't think so. I'm sorry, I didn't.
It had Kurt Russell driving a killer car, and it was very much inspired by this film.
The only film I've heard of that's something similar to this was a film called Christine, which I never saw.
Well, Christine's a very good film. You know, it's based on a Stephen King novel, and it's yeah, I think it's a great little horror film. You know, there was also a movie I think called The Van.
I didn't see that.
You didn't need to see that. That was pretty bad.
Because we didn't have a ride. Who knew first, huh? I did.
The Vale girls. Don't you have a gym class?
Bye, Daddy.
Bye.
I mean, do you have fond memories when you look back at this? Are you looking back at it and thinking, you know, it's you know, it's got its moments. I did a good job.
I'm looking at it and seeing some of these scenes rather, as though they had been for the first time. I don't recall making a lot of them.
Well, as you can see, I mean, it's a very slickly made film, you know.
Oh, good. I'm glad you think so.
Yeah. Are you happy it's coming out on Blu-ray? That a new generation.
I'm happy there's some attention given to it now after all these years and all the difficulties which I've previously described. I mean, it's really quite a pleasure to know that.
Because this was not a financial success when it came out, was it?
I don't know. I don't have access to the reports, although I understood that Europe paid more attention to it than this country. They saw some kind of a metaphor in a huge car that created destruction in the world.
So you think that maybe they saw an environmental message?
Possibly.
How do you feel about that?
It is what it is.
I mean, it's interesting how we look at films much later. I mean, you know, there's an element, I suppose, in this film you could argue of, you know, a destructive element coming into a very close-knit, middle-class, suburban community and destroying it from within. You know, the destruction of patriarchy, for example, you know, by something that's been repressed, if I can get quite psychoanalytical with it or whatever. I don't know if you put any, I don't know if you believe any of that or if you see any of that in this.
Well, that's an example of what I said a moment ago, that people will see things in a film that may or may not have been intended by the makers of the film. I'd never thought of what you just said, although I was aware that there was an evil influence coming into a small town, small rural town, and disrupting it. Why it came into that town, I don't know. Why it came into a small town in Idaho, I don't know.
Was it Utah or
Utah? I'm sorry,
Utah.
I say I don't mind Utah.
Okay. As a director, have you ever made a film and, you know, very consciously tried to put in any kind of message?
Well, I'd say that was a damn good guess, Wade.
No, not really. I mean, there is one that I'm preparing that is about hypocrisy, although the word hypocrisy is never mentioned. So, as I said a moment ago, it is what it is. If it has some meaning for people, that's just fine. That's extra.
But it would be all unintentional meaning on your part.
Yes, yeah.
And on a desert side. No cars. Black, gray, blue, get in or out.
I think it's interesting as well that you know, the police are a big element of this film, because often in horror films they try not to bring law enforcement into the film. In fact, I've spoken to many horror directors who say that when you bring the police into a film, it just by way of them being in the film, it slows the scares down, it slows the suspense down.
Well, here is evil comes into a town. The only people that have any power in a small town like that are these police. So the police are the antagonists or the protagonists.
Did you enjoy working with is it R.G. Armstrong? R.G. Armstrong is a...
Yeah, so he's a grand old guy.
He was
wonderful.
Very. I mean, the thing is, you mainly use character actors in this film as well. Are character actors easier to deal with than big stars?
I don't think there's any rule. I think the higher up, with some exceptions, the higher up the ladder of success and celebrity an actor rises, probably the more difficult it is for him or her to take chances, though that's not always true.
Well, Lee Marvin, I mean,
But he was not high up the ladder, that's why he took the chances he did.
He was...
Now you're talking about Cat Ballou.
Yeah, of course. He wasn't high up the ladder at that point?
No, he had done a small part in The Wild Ones. He was the lead in a television series. He had nothing to lose, in other words.
Okay. So he wasn't yet the Lee Marvin?
No.
All right.
No.
Was he a good guy?
He was a buddy.
Yeah?
I didn't drink with him, but I palled around with him a little.
I like to think you wouldn't have been able to keep up with Lee Marvin if he was drinking.
Well, that's another story.
Okay, we'll leave it there. I mean, well, but, you know, if you're dealing with, for example, a Jane Fonda, who's a a major celebrity and you're dealing with somebody of that stripe on a film. I mean, can that be difficult for you as a filmmaker?
No.
There's never any challenges they bring with them?
Pardon me?
There's never any challenges that they bring with them? They don't have to be shot in a certain way or anything?
But that's what a director's job is. The director is everything on the set, from stage director to cameraman to not director of photography, unless he's actually contracted to do that or able to do it, to psychiatrist, to friend, everything. Father or mother, as the case may be.
I'm starting to feel sorry for you. I'm starting to feel sorry for you.
Why?
That just sounds like one too many things, father and psychologist and everything else.
No, but you're not aware of the departmentalization of those things. You just are in charge. And you're working with a number of human beings, and you try to get them all to focus on a specific vision, and each one of them has a different feeling about it, and you have to try to to bring them all together and use whatever techniques you have at your disposal. Some of them may be social, some of them may be psychological, some of them may be artistic, some of them may be administrative, but you don't decide, hey, I'm pulling my psychology instrument out of my pocket, or I'm using another technique. You kind of know, or should know, how to handle a situation as it arises. Sometimes situations don't arise, and that's a blessing.
Was this generally a smooth?
In terms of the acting cast, yes, they did their best.
I mean, this is a very pretty night shot. You've done that's well done.
Thank
and
you.
Very well shot. Was that a lot of that backlit?
Backlit?
Yes.
There's what backlit?
That shot of the town. There's a very nice blue hue over it. I mean,
Calum, it's so many years ago, I'm just trying to follow the film as I look at it. I can't remember what the photographic techniques were.
Okay.
There was nothing so highly specific about it. Jerry Hirschfeld just, I said I want the street darkened, and
he went away and did it.
And he did it.
Okay. Expect me to confuse you a lot more. Was this a real police station?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. See, I like the look of that. These are little things that I like to pay attention to in a film, when something's just got a very nice, colourful, hue to it, and a nice, colourful light to it.
It was. I see, I wish there had been more of that darkness, so we could have had more of that darkness in the center of the film.
You know the only difficulty with doing it in the darkness, you would have missed all of that great sand and mist.
Well, all right, so one or two scenes like that wouldn't have hurt, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, that's interesting because we don't actually see the car make contact with him.
Did you want that?
Well, it depends if you like a lot of violence in your horror film. I mean, that goes back to what I was asking you about the PG rating. I mean, I know you said you weren't aware of any rating, but were you expected to keep the violence to a minimum?
Well, I don't think a car ever, in these stunts, you run over somebody, you don't actually make the contact. It's edited in such a way so that it seems that way.
But
he's a good actor.
He's going for it, gritty teeth and everything. I mean, when Quentin Tarantino did his own homage to the car, when he did Death Proof, the car, when it makes contact with other people, we see legs fly off, and we see people, kind of ripped to bits, and that's what I mean. I mean, this could have been a far more violent and maybe as a result more commercial film. I mean, for example, Jaws, when we saw the shark attack somebody, at first we didn't see anything, but as the film progresses, we get to see more, bodily destruction.
You would have preferred seeing blood on the sand.
I don't know. I mean, this is my job in doing this audio commentary, I suppose, is to ask you if you think, that may have been more effective to show more blood.
I don't know. I don't know whether blood necessarily makes a scene more effective. It might for some people. I did another film called A Man Called Horse, in which there was blood shown at specific points in order to emphasize the reality of what was being photographed. But I think the deliberate spilling of blood just to enhance the scene without any attention to whether it is justified or not is something that I'm not particularly interested in. But that's a question of how you see it. There's no right or wrong.
I mean, we're talking about how your work has influenced other directors.
I didn't know that it had.
Oh, I'm going to give you another example. But you know, the car, obviously an influence on the film that Quentin Tarantino made.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I didn't know that.
And you know, A Man Called Horse. This is the first time you'll probably ever have heard this. But you know how you string Richard Harris up with hooks in A Man Called Horse?
Yes.
Well, an Italian director called Umberto Lenzi made a film set in the Amazons called Cannibal Ferox. You don't need to remember the title. But in that film, he copied A Man Called Horse by hanging a woman up with hooks through her breasts.
Oof.
So I just wanted to tell you that.
Well, that was not an invention of mine. That was actually practice of the Mandan Indians of the Midwest. And the paintings of that ceremony made by a French trapper are in the Library of Congress with letters of testimony from people who witnessed it. And so we tried to duplicate that. And it was an understated, the way we did it. We understated it.
Very much, yeah.
So I would not have invented something like that.
Reports a black vehicle, two-door unidentified.
But it just goes to show you never know how your films or your images.
Indeed, I'm impressed.
I bet you never knew when you woke up this morning you would learn that A Man Called Horse inspired somebody to string a woman up with hooks to her boobs.
No, God, no.
There you go. I bet you regret meeting me right now.
Good morning. Wade.
Did you see the sequel to A Man Called Horse?
No, I've not seen any of the other versions.
Okay. And that's a very good film. I'm glad you reminded me that you'd made it, because I've not got any notes with me. And it's nice that you reminded me that you're responsible for A Man Called Horse. Richard Harris is excellent.
Hey, gentlemen, I want to put you on that parade. Call Miss McDonald and check what time she wants to.
So here we are, obviously back in the police station, and I can tell you're enjoying watching this film. Is this the first time you've seen this film in a long time?
Since it was made.
Really? Do you never go back and watch your own movies?
I have no personal policy about that. If the opportunity comes up, I do. I'm just recalling, as I see this now, some of the sequences.
I mean, it's interesting because
I'm impressed how well Gerald Hirschfeld photographed these sequences.
It is a very well photographed film, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I certainly don't think anybody could criticise this film for looking bad. Aesthetically, I think you've got a very, your cinematographer has a very fine eye for depth and colour and the capturing of the image.
Mm-hmm.
If you made this film again, would you get rid of James Brolin's mustache?
Why do you ask a question like that?
Just because it's a very 70s mustache. I don't know if you could have a mustache like that on screen today.
If he wanted it?
You would allow him to have it?
Probably, unless it was did violence to the character.
Yeah. It may well have influenced Tom Selleck as well.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Call McDonald.
I mean, at one time, a man with a light beard was usually a gangster. Now it becomes a sign of some kind of masculinity, I guess.
Yeah.
So it depends on the time and what the individual person wants to do.
Got to be the Kyle boy.
I suppose it's just, an interesting reminder of how people looked, in the past.
Thomas County Sheriff, can I help you?
And did you have to hand in, you know, when you were working with Universal for this film, did you often have to hand in dailies, or were they checking on the progression?
Oh, every day,
Yeah.
the dailies go in, of course.
So they were, you know.
Oh, that's in most cases standard.
Okay, but I mean, you know, were you given notes? Were you told that this had to change?
No.
No. So you were. They generally were happy with the direction.
Generally, they let me go. Now, see, some of these things here, the way these police were treated. Usually, police are very stolid, solid characters who don't show emotion. I tried to treat these people as kind of small town friends and family, and you'll see that there is some emotion showed. Here, some signs of I suppose, I don't know, some people would call it weakness, but of humanity.
That's a very nice shot. I remember actually seeing this and thinking it was a, you know, you captured this quite well with the bridge up. But now, where is this? This bridge is obviously in Utah.
Yes.
But what part of Utah do you remember?
Can you imagine jumping from that as that stuntman did?
Well, that's crazy, isn't it?
Can you imagine that?
Did you see the man who jumped from outer space recently?
Did I see what?
Did you see the man who jumped from outer space?
No. Oh, yes, I did. I did.
That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I almost went through the sofa here watching it. I just God, how anybody can do that is beyond me.
Do you wish you'd filmed it?
No, I wouldn't like to have been there.
It was an impressive stunt, though.
Oh, now this is interesting here. This is an area that was found for us, but you see those clouds in the background there? That was added, and it was also, Jerry Hirschfeld also added some Vaseline to a plate that covered the front of the film, front of the camera, I'm sorry. That really looked like a moonscape. There was some problem with this sequence in a shot where the car had to leap onto this track because it was front heavy, and the front of the car kept hitting the ground as it leaped off its inclined plane in the background. You'll see it shortly.
This is really the, forgive me if I'm wrong, but this is really the big set piece of the film as well. I mean, this is the scene where, you know, there's a great deal of people, they're all going to be chased, they're all going to be cornered. We're really going to see the threat of your protagonist, you know, as fullest extreme. I mean, is that fair to say that this is the most major scene in the film? This is when we really get the crux of what's happening?
Well, if you think a lot of people makes a major scene, I suppose you're right.
I'm not sure if that was a yes or no answer, but...
well, I can hear you say it is what it is.
Yeah. I know, but you know, I mean, when we're, you know, when we're doing an audio commentary, there has to be a degree of explanation to the people listening to it, because you know, people listening to a commentary will want answers for why things were made and why things were done.
The specific question is?
The specific question is, do you see this as being the crux of the film, as being, you know, the middle section of the film, the important part of the film which really establishes what, you know, the protagonist is about, and where the rest of the film is going to go, you know?
I guess so, sure. I guess so. We added that little flash later, optically.
And
there is another example of how trying to build some kind of suspense in the daylight.
Whoa, did that happen accidentally?
I don't remember that. It sure looked like it.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? She actually looked as if she was scrambling for her hat. I mean,
no, I think, as a matter of fact, we did provide some wind as another example of the coming of the devil. Yes, I do recall that now.
And I mean, in respect of my earlier question, can you just talk in general about the challenges of filming this? Because there is a great deal of people, there are animals.
There was no particular challenge. This is rather routine.
But there must have been, you know, some degree of things that you had to set up when you're dealing with a large crowd, with horses, you know, with wind, with
sand. No, there are experts. We have horse wranglers and assistant directors. They just say what you want, and then people work it out. I would say this is routine stuff.
So this was just an easy day on the set?
An uneasy day on the set, yes.
and in my next life, I'm coming back as a director. I mean, were all these locations close together, or did you have to search for them?
I think they were all near the city of St. George.
I wonder how much of these locations are still standing or still look the same.
Oh, well,
It'd be very interesting to find out.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, this is a little like the shark from Jaws. You know, I see what Universal were trying to get you to do. You know that.
I did the best I could. I'm sorry there was no water.
No, but
hard to find in the desert.
But you know, you've done a very good job. You know, I mean, the shark fin going through the sea, and here we have, you know, you create the threat with the dust and the hood of the car kind of going past. You know, I mean, it's.
Well, you're very kind. You really are very kind.
I have my moments.
Well, clearly you've got this monster. Here, there's the one. I see here the way the front end hit the ground. We could never get it to go up high enough so that I wanted it to be airborne almost, but we couldn't get it to work that way.
I mean, you know, can you talk about the person who drove the car? I mean, how did you find somebody who could drive a car quite like this? I mean, you know, it's hyperactive. It's got to almost perform.
I remember the look of the guy that did it. I don't remember his name. You're quite right. He had to be quite expert because it was a very heavy vehicle, and he had to make it do things that it wasn't not normal to a car.
I mean, like I say, the car's almost got to have a personality, hasn't it?
Yes.
It can't be like a shark. A shark,
no.
You know, the shark in Jaws is, to quote yourself, is what it is. But the car here actually does have to have a personality, which you know, I presume you were instrumental in giving this car a personality as a director.
I kind of, with George Barris, designed it.
I mean, here we see its personality. I think that's why I was asking you earlier if you saw, you know, this sequence is especially important because we see its personality.
It is right here. Here's another example of the problem. Here, the car is stopped. It won't come into the cemetery.
Yeah.
Now, think what would happen if that cemetery were at night. Nothing else changed, just shot at night. There's a good deal more terror involved.
I agree with you. I agree with you in this instance. I think.
But it would have been much more costly.
To shoot at night?
Yes. Oh, yes.
In what?
Where you could make 10 setups a day. At night, you might only be able to make half that many, depending on the shot. Now, of course, with digital photography, things have changed a bit.
You know, the thing is, though, with technology the way it is now. Go on, please.
There was an example of making that car do a much tighter circle than it normally can do, so they had to change something in the steering to make it do that.
Let us all see what a lunatic son of a bitch you are!
I like this scene. I think it's a fun scene. It's a threatening scene. It's. I mean, I agree with what you say. It would be wonderful if you'd shot it at night, but it's. You know, you still build something from this.
See, I'm not sure that at night she could challenge the car.
Yeah, that's a good point.
She'd probably want to back off or get everybody out of there.
Yeah.
But when you've got daylight, this kind of cursing is the only thing we could do.
It didn't like getting the log thrown at it.
Say again, please?
It didn't like when she threw the log at it. You know, it kind of takes off towards her. But this is a good scene as well. I mean, you know, when the car chases the woman and, you know, she's running for dear life. It's a good sequence. I mean, you know, you want this woman to get away. You're building up suspense here. It's a very fine, you know, little moment in the film. I certainly think you're helped by this location. The location is something you always want to look at, you know? It's a very attractive desert location.
What can we do for you, sweet baby?
You see, it'd be very tough to have this kind of scene if it's at night. Are you coming back again?
Yeah.
Everybody would want to get out of there.
Psycho idiot horse's ass!
Wow. He's a very good driver.
Yes.
I can't even drive. If I could drive, I'd love to do that.
It's tough to do that tight circle.
Yeah. Did you have to? I mean, you said that you didn't quite remember this, but
No, I remember this sequence because I wanted, you know, the way sometimes I wanted chasing its own
Sure,
tail like
sure.
a rabid dog.
and more dust and which I I think adds something very visual to the film. It creates atmosphere.
I don't know how you'd characterize it. I suppose it was intended to be a kind of a horror film, although I didn't see it any particular way. I just had to get through it and deal with the problems that had faced me.
It just, I mean, I think the challenge for you to a great degree was how to make this car threatening. And I can imagine that must have been very difficult.
Well, yes, the appearance of the car and what it does and people it kills.
Oh, and here comes the
Now,
police.
There's an interesting moment, difference of opinion, and I suppose both opinions are legitimate. There is when this chase up the hillside, as I recall, it's coming up. There are two views. There is a dramatic irony where the audience knows what is about to happen, but the character in the film doesn't know. Or sudden shock as the character in the film meets up with the threat suddenly. Now you see that I had it one way and it was changed. I much preferred the dramatic irony of the audience knowing what is going to happen to the sheriff as he chases the car, but I was overruled.
Oh, they wanted to make sure the audience wasn't expecting anything?
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
But I think, at this point I said, I think I had enough of that.
Yeah. No,
but you know, it's a difference of opinion. I suppose both are legitimate views. I'm just making that commentary because you want some background on each area.
No, I do. It's very welcome, very welcome. I mean, watching it again, I'm struck by, I mean, we talked about this earlier, and I do like how you created, shooting inside the car and making it a little bit ominous, a little bit satanic. It looks hot. You're creating hot colors when we're inside the car.
Well, the secret was it was the devil driving the car.
Yeah.
Or a devil driving the car.
I mean, I'm struck watching this again. Just generally how pretty it looks, how aesthetically, pleasing it is.
It's very hard to make your child look bad.
Yeah, but I mean, do you want to credit your cinematographer with any of that, or can we say that?
Credit God and the cinematographer.
Okay.
We'll follow him. Stay with him, we'll box him. Just tell us where he's going, we'll intercept. Just stay with him.
Now this is the upcoming sequence of what I was just talking about.
Sure. It's interesting that whenever we see the town or the roads, the film actually it looks so different, because of the contrast between the desert and and the township, and it's a little bit disorientating for the viewer, which I think adds to the film's atmosphere and acts in your favor. I mean, were you aware of that, or was that not conscious on your part?
I'm not aware of it.
Okay. I mean, just a change of environment. I mean, there we see some grass, now we're at desert. So we're visually kind of disorientated a lot by the threat. And, it's interesting you weren't aware of that. I think it's a...
Well, in that kind of country, you see what you see here?
Yeah.
You see that green brush everywhere.
Sure. It certainly adds to, the sense of impending threat.
Now you see, here's another example of that. The car sets itself off as bait for this guy by waiting for him.
Yeah. This
you see what I was talking
interesting.
about in that moment. All right. So the car is going up the hillside and the police are chasing him.
I like how you shot this as well on the bonnet of the
Thank you.
The vehicle. The first person eye view.
There's no way down but straight down.
Ray, don't lose it!
Was any of this difficult to shoot? It looks as if it's very tight
Oh,
roads.
sure.
Can you speak about that?
Well, no, you can see. There's the moment I was talking about. I had a shot where the car had turned around and was waiting as the sheriff came up
Ah, the
hillside.
dramatic irony, sure. Now, how did you create this shot we're about to see?
How?
Yes.
What do you mean? I'm not quite sure I understand what you mean.
Well, we see that the police car kind of dangling off the cliff. That's what's about to happen.
Oh, well, it was all
we
chained
see
up
this.
there.
I mean, how was this created?
Oh, it was chained up there so they couldn't go over.
Okay.
And this shot, man doesn't have to be right at the edge of the cliff. He could be well safe up on the road. You can't see where he is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now the car blares its da 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 da, which is X in the Morse code. Well, very few people will know that, except people who know Morse code.
It's a nice little touch, though, isn't it?
Little secrets here and there.
Yeah. Can you talk about the car that went over the cliff there, just blowing up as it went over the cliff? Is that a hard stunt to achieve?
You push the car over the cliff, and
just blow
what
up?
we call the powder man has a switch, and it sets off an explosion in the car.
You make filmmaking sound incredibly boring.
No, it's not boring, but there are certain routines. There's a language that's developed as a result of it, and everybody knows the language.
Oh, this is great. Look at this. Look at this.
Now, that came out of a nightmare I had during the course of it, where the car rolls over. That would be much easier to do now with digital photography. It was very difficult to do then. As a matter of fact, I was standing next to the track during a rehearsal when that car was to be blown over, and an accident happened to shorten the wire, and the car blew over and missed me by about 6 inches.
Wow.
Now here's another example. I try to make something out of bright sunlight, a little suspense. You can watch this. I'd rather not comment on it. Just let it speak for itself.
Unfortunately, we have to comment on it.
What?
Unfortunately, you have to comment on it.
I have to comment.
You
All
do?
right.
I'm afraid so.
All right, I'll comment.
If people want to speak for themselves, they're not going to be listening to the
All
audio
right, well,
commentary.
Then all right, so I don't know what to say. The pictures that seem to me speak for themselves, but I just don't know what else I can add.
Well,
Except that the car sits there challenging the police to try to do something, and nothing seems to work. All right.
do you think there's some comedy in this scene? Do you think
I hadn't seen it that way, but who knows?
Okay, it's
Now, this is what I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen here? That's trying to build a little suspense instead of atmosphere.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite sequences right here. It's also one of the most simple.
I like this sequence as well.
Now, we're about to find out who's in that car, clearly. But
You're kind of just waiting for something to
it's
happen.
a tease. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Now that's kind of what I think you were wanting to do. I get the impression, a darker shot, a more evocative shot. Is that safe to say when you say you wanted darker colors?
A little, yes.
I mean, you sort of realize it in that shot. It's a very evocative shot that you've created there.
Of course, you're going to be a little sore for a couple of days. If
James Brolin's now in the hospital.
after he leaves in the morning.
This is before Obamacare. He's probably just been given a massive check. That he's
Now, no political input.
Sorry. I'll try.
That's your daughter.
Yes. I am too.
I see doctors are usually very straightforward in these things, and I just want this guy to show a little bit of his concern and his emotion.
So, I mean, when this, how long between you finishing this film and it coming out in the cinemas?
Oh, Lord, sir, I don't remember. I really don't. This is many, many years ago. It's what, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, something like that.
35 years ago. It's quite a long time. I wasn't born when this film came out.
There you are.
Like he smashed through our cars like.
But it's.
Now, if I asked you what it was like to be born, would you remember?
Oh, sure.
Oh, you do? Wow.
Yeah.
You're remarkable.
It's. I mean. Do you find that you're ever, that over the years, you've ever given interviews about this film or been asked about it, or not really? Is it a film you kind of thought had just kind of been and gone?
I'm surprised that there is an interest in it. I think, as I indicated before,
Yeah.
I'm happy that it seems to have some value for somebody. A lot of people worked very hard.
Are you surprised that people will listen to your audio commentary?
I don't know. Well, maybe they will, maybe they won't.
No, I'm sure that they will. They want to, hear your memories of all of this stuff. There's a lot of character development in this film.
Well, the police, it was very hard to make the police more than two dimensions, and I tried wherever possible to show them really grieving for the wounded, for the dead, and troubled that they've been unable to do anything about it.
I mean, that's what I was going to say. I mean, in horror films today, if I can call this a horror film, I don't know, maybe you would say it isn't, but to me it follows the rules of horror cinema.
Fine.
But in horror films today, we don't really get to know the victims so much. We don't really get to know those who have had somebody they know lose a life or become injured. I mean, this is back in what I think was the finest decade for making horror films, which was the 70s. You had a great deal of great horror films coming out in that decade. I don't know if you ever saw Halloween, which was released a year later. I mean, one of the greatest horror films ever made. And in this film, you've got a great deal of character development, which nowadays would be seen as very wouldn't be so typical in a film of this kind. And I think, again, it's something you should also be proud of. We get to know these characters, we get to care about these characters. And in a way that that makes the threat of something unpleasant. It gives us more attachment to it because we want to see these people make it to the end credits. Does that make sense to you?
I suppose it's very hard for me to read out of it. It would be easier for you to read out of it because all I can remember is what went into it.
Sure.
And if you found things in it that I didn't intend, that's marvelous. It's wonderful. It enriches your experience with it. I can't, although people in Europe apparently did think this was a commentary on American big automobile companies. I've read that commentary from France. I didn't have that in mind, I suppose, except subconsciously in one case when the car was belching smoke. But apart from that, no, the assignment was to do Jaws on land. And a horrifying car that enters a small community and creates havoc and kills people. Whatever else there is wonderful. The thing takes on a life of its own and says things that may have never been intended or even thought of.
Well, it's like I said to you before we began this commentary. I said my sister's a very big fan of Cat Ballou, and when I was younger, she made me stay up very late and watch it. So I appreciate what you're saying. I appreciate that you can never know how your film affects people or where it travels to or what people will get out of it.
Well, you hope it affects people the way you want it to, but there may be extras in there that you never saw. or felt. And that's fine.
What was your life as a filmmaker like at this point? I mean, you were obviously a very busy man. Can you just talk in general about what it was like to be in the film industry at this point?
What it was like to be in the film industry. That's a question that's worth a lot more time, I think, than we have here. Particularly since I'm trying to think of things to say about this, what's on the screen. It's very chaotic. It's a struggle because there are so many elements and people involved, each with a separate vision. It's as if you were to say to somebody, what is the color red? And you can't describe the color red except in scientific terms. You have to point to something as red and say, well, when I point to that, when you see that color, that's what I mean when I say red. So that everybody has to wait until the film is shot to know what was intended. And then, of course, there are different colors of red, some that you may not even have thought of yourself. Now, this was a tough moment here because the cop showing this much emotion is a little untraditional. But I thought appropriate to a small family kind of group of officers in a small town where they all have very close relationships.
It's interesting as well that your film has, shows the police in such a positive role, because that was something that we didn't see so much, I suppose, because of, if we can be very slightly political for a second, but, you had the Kent State riots, and that sort of demonized the police for a long time in America.
Yes, but you see here, these were just people. They happened to wear uniforms, and they were the ones that had to deal with this monster coming into their city. The fact that they wore badges gave them the authority to deal with it. But they weren't the police of the San Francisco riots, things of that nature.
And here we have...
Did I say San Francisco? I meant Los Angeles.
Yeah, no, of course. And here you have your night scenes. I mean, so you did get to do some stuff.
I just look at that now, and I want to know what's going to happen.
You do seem very, very fixated, I think, on what could have been if it was shot at night, and I understand that. I really do. And here we again see some evidence of really skillfully lit, skillfully shot, skillfully framed, moments in this film. Yeah, I mean, I like the way you've shot this. I kind of feel for you in a way. It would have been a very different film if it had all been shot like this, and I agree with you. It would have been, possibly more threatening.
There's one sequence in the film that I fought very hard to make it at night and to see what the possibilities would be if it were done at night, and you'll see it coming up.
I mean, the strange thing about more wind. Is it windy in Utah?
No, this was all artificial wind. This was wind we made.
In general, is it windy in Utah though? Is it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
So you had to make the wind artificially.
Yes.
I mean, the thing about a horror film at night is we know something really bad is going to happen. And I guess, with all the scenes you shot during the day, it's maybe adds a little bit more to the surprise element, because we don't suspect anything during the day, Whereas here, with the wind and the darkness and the female victim, the attractive female victim, it becomes a staple of the genre. We know that something's going to happen, Do you remember much about filming this scene? I mean, I'm sorry to keep asking you that, but obviously it's an important scene.
Yes, I do. This is the one I was talking about. You'll see what I mean in a moment.
It's a very good setup. You know, you're building suspense, and I think doing it. I like the painting. Did you get to keep that?
Did I what?
Did you get to keep it?
No.
Oh, that's a shame. Do you think it still exists?
It might. I don't know. I doubt it, but it could.
If anybody's watching this who worked on the car and has that painting, can you contact us? Mr. Silverstein.
No, here it is.
Would like it back.
Here it is. Now you watch this. This is an example of taking advantage of the darkness.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. We see the light. It's you know, it's well shot. It's well prepared. Can you talk us through it?
Well, there it is. That's shorter than any sentence I could invent.
I know, but you know, can you talk about preparing that and?
Well, sure. They had to have a ramp so that car could come up through the window. And they had to take a number of shots with the actress out of there so she wouldn't be injured. The stunt driver did a very good job with it, and it's. I think it's one of my favorite scenes in this. I recall that very clearly.
Now, did you actually build a house that you could drive the car through?
Sure.
And
yes.
Did that
That was all built. Everything you see in front of you here.
Did that take a little while to do?
The craftsmen in the motion picture world are astonishing. What they can do against the schedule is it's so impressive. It's hard to describe unless you've been there watching them. And there's nothing they can. I believe there's nothing they cannot do.
I mean that's the thing. You know, those of us watching it who aren't from the motion picture world, you know, these are. I suppose these are questions we would want answered, because, you know, in the everyday world, the non-motion picture world, building a house and driving a car through it just seems like the coolest job on the planet.
Well, do remember that the whole house was not built. Because the car came through that window and then was gone. So it's just the back of the house wasn't there. This was just the facade.
Did you build it on the Universal backlot?
I believe we did, yes.
And that would have been in Los Angeles, of course.
Yes.
Do you remember if you shot any of this film in sequence or nothing like that?
I've never had that luxury.
Sure. So it was shot in random order?
Yeah, that's the other thing we talked earlier about, the things that a director has to be able to do, is to shoot things backwards, out of order, and have it all connected in his or her mind. And perhaps the only person that does have it that way, because sometimes things have to fit emotionally from one scene to another. So A has to go with B, although the A may be shot at the very end of the film, and you have to know exactly how you shoot A at the end of the film so that it will fit seamlessly with B, which you shot at the beginning of the schedule.
Now, I mean, a slightly inevitable question, which we haven't actually discussed yet. Did you see Jaws? Did you like it?
I did like Jaws. I admired it very much.
Did you consciously draw on it at any point during this film?
No. All I did, once they said Jaws on land, the car was the shark, and from then on it was facing the problem that I've described a number of times.
Yeah. Do you feel that the success of Jaws had changed Universal a great deal? I mean, it certainly changed the film industry.
We have to ask them. I believe it did, but you ask the executives there.
I don't accept it.
Wait! That car flew into that house 4 feet off the ground.
So, I mean, I presume that this wouldn't have been a project that was very personal to you. Did you feel like a hired hand on it? Did you feel just like a hired hand on this project?
Well, I was.
Yeah. But, I mean, you know, so it's not, watching it again, you don't feel a great deal of personal attachment to it?
Only for the reasons that I described to you. I would have had a different vision of it. But that was not my call in that respect. Other people had the money and had to depend on me to carry out their premises as best I could.
there's a little bit of character development we see there, which I'd like to ask you about. We see Mr. Brolin with the Bible, and it's the first glimpse we get of Christianity. Did you put that in there, or was that in the script?
Well, it was in the script.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had some part in developing the script, so I was aware that it was there. It didn't happen. It wasn't improvised.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's just, I guess, sometimes what I'm leading towards is sometimes religions, like politics, it's better not to discuss it, or it's better not to bring it into a film. I'm wondering, your own, because sometimes an audience, if an audience member is not religious, they might tune out of the film, for example.
It doesn't matter what the audience was. That the characters here were desperate, and he looked to the Bible, to his religion, to his spiritual master, whatever that was, in order to help him, because he's beginning to feel helpless.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's a bad goddamn time, Tano. These goddamn roaches as big as hen eggs. What?
Now, who was this actor, the Native American gentleman?
I don't remember, but he was one he and the little girl, the girl sheriff, were both Native Americans, different tribal groups.
And he's very good in the film. I mean, I think that's the thing. It's an ensemble cast, so it comes together very well from an acting standpoint.
I'm glad you feel that way.
Yeah. Well, hey, I kind of like the movie. What can I say? When you work very hard on a film, as you have on this film, and it comes out and it's not a success, or the critics say it's not any good. I mean, as a director, even if you are just a hired director, that there isn't a great personal attachment to the film. Is it disappointing, or is there a sense of
of course it's disappointing. When you say personal attachment to the film, once you get into it, it becomes very important. Every shot becomes important. Every moment, you invest yourself in trying to do as good a job as you can. I mean, there are some projects which I don't want to talk about, which I feel a great personal investment in. But there are, and this happens to every director, there's somebody say, look, I have this idea, I have this script, I want you to mount it. Then you do the best you can. I mean, nobody has ever said, make this shot this way, do this here, do that there. That's very rare. So there is an investment in seeing that this shot, this sequence is effective.
Right.
So there is an investment in that respect.
Okay.
Now this is in the tradition of the Old West. He straps on the gun and the badge, it's the old American Western. He's going out to fight the outlaw and say goodbye to his lady love.
I think that you have a very good leading man in it,
yes.
and he portrays that challenge and his character arc very well. Did you have to do much to bring that out?
No.
No, he just brought that, yeah?
Yeah, he knew what to do.
So it sounds as if, I guess you've already clarified this, but this was basically a very easy shoot. There was no problem, very little problem.
With the actors, yes. Yes, because they were very cooperative, they were very skillful, and they were very helpful.
Ah, there we go.
This scene has been done many different ways in American Westerns.
Yeah. And the thing is, the landscapes add to the sense of the Western, don't they? So we're coming to the end of the film, and we've established a link to the Western.
So I mentioned the fact that the hero saying goodbye, strapping on his guns and in fact his badge and so forth, and going to mount up on his horse, which is a motorcycle in this case, and go after the bad guy.
I mean, I said at the beginning of this commentary that I thought of this. Here we go. That's a great expression as well.
Margie, it's Wade.
Wait.
Now, I've even forgotten this scene.
Listen to
Why
me.
aren't you in the hospital?
Don't come in here. Go
Why
back
you're with
upstairs.
Yeah, stay back. I'm going to take care of it myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It's very the masculine cowboy, isn't it?
it's formulaic, I guess.
Oh my God.
Still, we're ready for something to happen. I was going to comment that at the beginning of this commentary, you know, I mentioned that you know, this might be seen as a B movie, but of course it was a big studio film. Do you see any you know, any kind of mixture in that? That, you know, do you think that a big studio film can also be a B movie? Do you think there's a B movie element in this?
I don't know what that means.
Well, you know,
B movie. It's
a B movie would be something.
You're talking about budget?
No. I mean, a B movie would be something like the old science fiction films. You know, like Invasion of the. Maybe not so much Invasion of Body Snatchers, but well, you know the creature features and the crazy stuff that came out. You know, Night of the Living before Night of the Living Dead.
You're
you know,
more of a student of films than I am, so
yes, sure.
You're probably better able to make that decision.
Okay. I mean, you know, I was a teenage werewolf, you know, and stuff like that. The stuff that came out before Night of the Living Dead, where the protagonist was a bit more otherworldly or supernatural, you know. Because, you know, I see this as a B movie on an A budget with, not so much an A budget, but a bigger budget with, you know, bigger names and a big studio behind it, you know. But fair enough if you don't feel you can comment on that, I guess. But you know, in the same breath, I do think the car itself, you know, would fit in very well in a B movie from the 50s or something, you know.
This is the bull and the toreador. That was what I told the two of them, the driver and Roland.
I presume you liked this scene because it was darker. It was yes. Ah, and this is what you were talking about earlier with the environmental commentary.
Yes.
Yeah? Well, it's nice that you got a little bit of commentary in there.
Oh, Deborah. My ears! Are you okay? Get me out there!
Well, something's certainly about to kick off. See, I thought this was an interesting idea, you know, that you could use noise as a threat, you know, which is something that protagonists in horror films don't often do, you know, that they could use noise as a threat and you know, pollute the air as a threat. I mean, it's you've done what you can.
The military's using it now.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Machines that can drive you crazy with sound.
You've done what you can with a killer car, you know, and I think that's admirable. So the car's about to enter its final battle, and I mean, can you talk about this? It's
too bright. This is too bright. This scene.
You're not fond of this?
It's too bright.
So that was another battle you lost. You wanted this to be darker.
Darker, sure.
Yeah. Can you talk about this chase scene? Can you talk about filming?
What is there to talk about? Except the two stuntmen were very courageous. Imagine driving that close, that fast, in case something should happen, somebody could get hurt. Everett Creech was the motorcyclist.
Well, there you go. It sounds like there's plenty to talk about. What's it like filming stunts? I mean, did you have a second unit that could do some of this for you? No?
They could have, but they didn't.
Okay. So, I mean, what are some of the challenges for you in filming these stunts?
The challenges are not for me, they're for the cameraman and the stunt people. I've seen camera operators hang in, shoot a scene that is clearly, if anything went wrong, they'd be killed, but they never move. They're the bravest people.
Another great shot. You know, very, very dusty, atmospheric shot. I mean, I like these long shots of the car with the dust, you know. I really like how that's been done.
I do too.
Did you know how you were going to set up the final scene?
Yes, I knew what I wanted at the end. Unfortunately, the studio was very busy with a number of special effects, and the genius who really was a genius. Albert Whitlock was so overburdened with work, he couldn't do exactly what I wanted him to do. As a matter of fact, I was probably being unreasonable, and it would be easy to do with digital photography now, but this was long before digital photography, and that was at the very end, which I'll talk about when we get there.
Yeah, I mean, we're obviously we're about there. Watching it again, are you know, I mean, you said you've not seen this film since it was released.
That's right, I have not.
You know, watching it again, how do you feel about it? Just as you've been watching it and speaking over it?
Well, some things are better than I thought they were, and some things are not as good as I thought they were. I see a lot of mistakes, which I won't discuss. Look at that beautiful countryside, gosh.
I mean, watching it again, are you at least, do you at least understand why people like it, or there's still an interest in it?
Well, I hope so. I say it is what it is. If people like it, I'm pleased. It's the devil. I shouldn't say devil when watching it.
I mean, I think it's a very strange anomaly. You know, I think Jaws on Wheels was going to be a hard thing to pull off. Whether or not it was pulled off, I'm not sure, but I think that there's still stuff to enjoy.
Well, it's pulled off if
film.
you think it's pulled off.
Yeah.
In other words, if you remember the audience, you see it, you enjoy it, it's done its job.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you can have fun with it and watch your popcorn, you're happy, right?
Right.
Watch your popcorn, eat your popcorn. What on earth am I saying?
Everett Creech was one of the foremost motorcycle stunt guys around at the time. He was really quite astonishing.
Did you have to audition for stuntmen on this?
No,
or did you have to you just knew who you were going to get?
Their reputations
Right.
precede them.
So you knew who the top stuntmen were, you knew who to get?
Pardon me?
So you just knew who the proper stuntmen were, who you had to hire?
Yes.
Did you have input into that?
Input?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you had input into casting the film as well?
Yes,
Susan?
oh yes.
Okay.
Oh sure.
Did you get all your first choices?
Yes.
I mean, that's very lucky, isn't it?
Yes. Oh, I have no complaints about the making of it. Everybody did the best that they could. The only problems we have was the basic one that I described.
Yeah, sure. I hear you.
And then after that, it became trying to solve that problem or work within that problem.
Well, you know, you did make Jaws and Wheels, but it's better than Jaws of the Revenge, so I think...
You notice the way the car spins around. I get thinking of a shark's tail.
Yeah. Did you think about that in the set, did you?
I suppose.
This is a very...
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's remarkable what he did.
It's not bad. I mean, digital filmmaking's kind of destroyed the brilliance of a really good stunt in many ways, you know, because now it's safer and easier to do something, you know, digitally, don't you think?
Yep, absolutely.
But so
but the stuntmen are just remarkable what they do, what they're willing to do.
Oh Jesus! Hold on, wait!
Oh.
And they have a language all their own. They can refer to this, and everybody knows what it is, and they all got their proper equipment for it. It's remarkable to work with them.
You don't ever. I mean, the script to this film, did it say it was going to be in Utah, or was Utah someplace that you just found?
No, I don't recall that it did. It may have. I don't recall that.
Did you location scout, or did you pretty much?
Yes, of course.
You did. Okay.
You just don't suddenly show up.
No, but you know what I mean. I mean, did you have it in your mind that this would be great for Utah, or did you think I need to location scout? I need to go to, I don't know, you know, Wyoming or Nevada and see.
I think there are some recommendations made by the production department for various reasons, and I don't recall specifically how we chose Utah, but I'm sure I had a hand in it. You have to go and improve the location. You have to know how you're going to shoot it.
Do you wish that there had been a car ride at Universal Studios?
A car ride?
A car ride at Universal Studios, the Jaws ride? think that would have been fun? we could have gone in the car and maybe ramped through a house or something.
Be run down by the car.
Yeah. What do you think? Have you still got Universal's number? I think there's something in that. You can bring back moustaches
You make
as well.
the suggestion. I'm not going to do that.
Well, I might just do that, you know.
No, this was a little spooky because all this was done at the edge of a real canyon. There was no digital work, no design work, no art direction.
So they're actually
They're
running.
actually there.
Oh.
And we were all running along the edge of this 250, 300-foot drop. And
That must have been scary.
it was scary. That's why I say they're wonderful actors and wonderful stunt people. They do anything to entertain. Look at that. Look what he did. Close to that drop-off.
Did you ever speed the film up? Did you speed the film up
No.
to make the car go? So the car just generally is really
No,
going this fast?
Not that I can recall.
Okay. I mean,
I don't deny it, because maybe it happened once or twice. You're talking about something that is a generation old now. I don't recall, but I don't recall that I did. I may have.
No. Look at him. Look at him. He thinks he's got it.
And of course, I do want you to talk us through the
Look, they're right at the edge of the canyon. This was scary.
Not yet. No, not yet. Now go!
So
here
we go. You could speak about this and
Yes.
and how you feel about how it didn't quite work.
Now, this fire was supposed to turn into a giant fiery claw with like a lion's mouth. And he didn't have the time or the money to do it, but he tried. It's starting there.
But it just doesn't quite happen?
Didn't quite happen. See?
Ah, I see it. Okay, so it's almost there, but not quite.
I think
That's
if he
a
had
shame.
another month to work on it, he could have done it.
It's a shame that it's a shame that your Devil's Claw never quite happened. But I still think it's a very it's an impressive explosion. It lights up the screen. It's blinding. We realize that this isn't just a normal.
So this was on the stage, and the other thing was actually out on the cliffside.
Well, it certainly, it at least concludes the film.
Ken Orsatti was one of the great young stuntmen of the time.
And he was on the screen there?
Yeah, there he is right there.
Ah, yeah, guy with a dusty face. I mean, I think that it concludes the film with the indication that something otherworldly, something not quite right, something hellish has taken place, something supernatural. And I think we see that at the very least because, you fill the screen with this big, like explosive mass. And whilst I agree that, the claw might have been a good touch, it's, I think the point you were trying to make still comes across.
That was real. Those actors were standing right at the edge of a huge drop-off.
Whoever he was, he isn't anymore.
I'm glad nobody fell.
Yeah.
Yeah. That wouldn't be so good.
But didn't you see it in the fire?
He's down there.
And we have but you leave things kind of ambivalent, right? I mean, I presume you want the audience to wonder if it was just a crazy person in a car. Is that correct?
Yes.
You don't want to provide the answers, right?
I don't. No, it's whatever you think it was.
Nice. Okay. Well, that's something at least. You made a big studio film and you left the ending a little bit open, but there's still that ray of light,
And up comes the sun.
Yeah.
To a new day.
That wasn't. I mean, I presume that the sun rising
Yes.
wasn't meant to be Christianity versus
No,
anything.
no,
Okay,
no,
it's just a nice.
I'm Jewish. How could that be?
I would never have known with a name like Silverstein. You surprise me more and more every day. Well, I'm glad that we did the
There we
commentary,
are.
and I hope you enjoyed. Did you enjoy yourself?
Yeah, sure. I enjoyed myself because you indicate that some people might have enjoyed seeing the film.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nice to hear.
Do you want to say a little goodbye to the people in Britain who have just listened to to us both speak?
God bless them.
Okay, well, thank you very much, sir, and thank you for doing
very
this.
Pleased that somebody thought well enough of the time of their life to take an hour and a half and see this film, and I hope they got some pleasure out of it.